morning to Gramey Browne. But I know him as Calvin. I think most people in the island know him as Calvin. But a lot of you might also know him as Mr. Extreme. What's going on, Gramey? How you doing?
Hey, I'm fine, man. Good morning. Nice to be here.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. Since 2004, since I've actually been in the studio. So.
Wow, it's been a long, long time. Because I've been seeing you doing your radio tours. I saw you with Lady Grace. I saw you with Wendy Moore and everything. I was like, this guy looks familiar. And then just when you walked into the studio, I said, I know. You're Mr. Extreme. And he said, yes. You used to do you had the top-up machines.
The top-up machines, yeah.
Yes, right?
We still do that.
Oh, you still do that? Okay. So what you been up to all this time? I haven't seen you. I haven't heard from you. All of a sudden you pop up and now you got a book talking about life. So, baby, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. So
Yeah.
I retired 2 years ago. So and then I went into writing book, and I started the book in October last year. Finished it in December. Had some issues printing.
That's quick, man.
You know, when you're telling a story about yourself,
Right.
it's a lot easier because it's you.
That's true.
You actually know everything.
That's true, right.
that's one of those things.
Yeah. So you started writing the book in October. You finished it in
December.
Okay.
And then I had some issues. I was trying to get it printed for Christmas. Then I had some publishing issues, which every first-time author actually gets that. And so it got published in January, and then I came down to St. Martin, basically home. And we did the launch on February 25th, Pineapple Pete. And then I went to Stacia actually last week. I was over there. I was supposed to come on by you last week.
Right.
And then went to Stacia. And that's where the book actually starts at me 12 years old. And then I came to St. Martin at the age of 17. And so, but that's another book.
That's a whole other book. Yeah.
But there is some stories of St. Martin, how excited I was to come here. And St. Martin for me back then, that was 1986. I would say the way the United States is to Mexicans.
Okay. Wow, why would you say that?
Because St. Martin was wow. I mean, you know Stacia, right? I don't know the last time you've been there. So
it's been a while, but
it's been a while.
The stories that I've heard, Stacia has really developed with the new airport and everything.
Right.
The place is looking totally different. So someone said I wouldn't recognize it. If I haven't been there in the last 4 to 5 years, it's totally changed.
There's a lot changed.
Yeah.
So imagine going all the way back to 1986. I don't know how old you was then.
1986, I was about 3 years old. So yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it used to happen back in the days. St. Martin was this, like, we were held up on the pillar, and we used to down talk, Sabre, and Station.
Exactly.
They don't have no movies. They just have to close the place at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And yeah, we used to down talk, Sabre, and Station a lot. Trust me.
So coming to St. Martin in the 80s as a 17-year-old, it was wow.
Yeah.
You know, just everything was wow. You had the Wisdom car rental. Yeah, you had the burgers. You had it.
All of that stuff.
Yeah, it was all. It was all there. So.
Okay, so let's talk about the book. It's called Learning the Business of Life. And one of your quotes is, the only limits in business and life are your imagination and determination to succeed. So tell us a little bit about this book, Learning the Business of Life.
So I met a man at the age of 14 that told me business and life was one and the same. And you shouldn't separate them. If you can do either one that you can do well complements the other.
Okay.
Any one that you do bad, the other one is going to fall in line. That's just the way it is. And I believe them, and I've lived that way ever since. So that's the synopsis of why the name is The Business of Life.
The Business of Life. So you said basically, life, what you said, mixing life and business?
Business is one and the same. You can't do one without the other.
And some people actually would beg to differ, especially when it comes to business, and they say, well, not really life, but more like, let's say, business with family and friends. They say sometimes you have to learn to separate the two, because you don't want to involve emotions when it comes to when you have a business as well. Because sometimes, the conflicts can happen and whatever. But you said, you have basically a philosophy.
Yes.
You should actually mix the two together.
That they are the same.
That they are the same. Actually.
Yeah. You can't. If you're failing in your life personally, that's gonna go over to whatever business you're doing.
Okay, and I do see that correlation.
It's not gonna succeed. And if you succeed in the business, it means you also succeeded in life. So, and again, I was 14 years old. The first story in the book is discovery. That is me discovering business, and I was tuned since that time. That it was a fifth grade class called Principles of Business, and it's basically John bought an apple for $1 sold it for $1.10, and made a 10 cents profit. And the key in business is to duplicate that transaction or have a similar transaction every second of every minute of every day of every hour of every year, and then you increase your chances of having a very productive business. And so I figured, wow, it wasn't about having a storefront. It wasn't about investors. It wasn't about but it's the concept, and business is transactional. How many transactions can you do, and can you repeat them over and over and over again?
So how would you translate that now into when it comes to the life aspect?
The life aspect is the moment later on in the book is a story called Cost of what it costs for you to actually live. And the moment you leave your parents' house, all your expenses are yours. Except for the few who go back home and say, hey, mommy, I need rent. But every business needs income. If you don't have income, your business is going to fail. Personally, if you're a grown-up, you need income, or you can't pay your bills. It's the same thing. When you have a job, you go out, you provide services, you get paid. With business, it's the same thing. You have a product, you sell it, you get your income. You need sales. It's the same thing.
Same thing. True. Okay, I thought you were going more in the direction of, okay, so the business aspect of the business model, you can also apply that with your life as well. So just like how, we make profit with business or whatever product we have, your life is a product, and basically you use your life to not sell your life.
So you are the business.
Right, exactly.
You are the business.
And the profit that you make is basically the things that come back to you in a positive light or manner.
So sales, when you go out and when you're employed, you come here and you work, you do a job, you perform a service, and you get paid for it.
Right.
That's personally.
True.
For the business owner, you're providing a service that generates income because people advertise on your program, that they want to be on your show. It's the same thing. We need income. If you look around, the world works on commerce, right? So do we. Because we need income. If you want things, you have to buy it. And very early on, I realized that you have to exchange cash for goods and things that you want. In business, it's the same thing. You have to make an investment in order to get the return.
Okay. And when it comes to you, your investment was this book, Learning the Business of Life.
Learning the Business of Life.
And for people to get this transaction, they need to spend money to get this book.
To get, yes. That is a transaction as well. I'm still doing the transactions that I was doing from 12 years old.
So if persons want to get this book, how can they get it, and what's the price?
The price is $20. It's $19.99. If the store doesn't have a penny, then it'll end up costing you $20. It's available on Van Dorp, both locations. It's Video Block in French Quarter.
Okay.
Adolphus Richardson on the Pondville. The Flag and Bookstore on the Bush Road.
Oh, that's Arnia.
Arnia, yes. And then Family Bookstore and Camille Richardson Street.
Oh, that's in Phillipsburg,
yes.
Close to where Quiznos is over there.
Yes, right, a few stores down from Quiznos. It's also available in the St. Martin Public Library. And it's available on Amazon on ebook as well as paperback.
So you can get the paperback, or you can get the Kindle edition. It's available on Amazon. And if you want a link, you can always check out his website at GrameyBrowne.com. So GrameyBrowne.com. And you can get your book and check it out yourself. Learning the Business of Life from a local author. This is your first book?
This is my first book. And it chronicles me from the age of 12 to 19.
Okay.
So it's all the fundamentals that I learn and I gather, and from, that tuned tuned me the way I become. Many people always ask me, boy, how you so? Boy, you can't. Well, now you're going to know. If you buy the book, you're going to find out all the details and how long it's been. So it's hard for me to change now.
Okay. Because now, like I mentioned, we started off with the quote: "The only limits in business and life are your imagination and determination to succeed." Explain that quote for us.
So everything starts with imagination, right? If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a basketball player, you want to be anything you want to be, you first imagine yourself being that.
Right.
And if you have that imagination and you decide, okay, I want to be, I don't know if you always wanted to be a radio host or a broadcaster.
Yeah, but I'm here. I never, listen, if you ask me, this is what if I would have been sitting here 20, 30 years ago, it would never cross my mind.
It never crossed your mind.
The opportunity just came up one day. I was listening to the radio. Michael Gramey at the time was doing Loud and Loving It. And they were looking for someone to be a co-host. And I just happened to listen. I was attending the University of St. Martin, and it was night classes. I was leaving. I was going home, and I turned the radio on. And just when I turned it on, he mentioned it. Hey, we're looking for such and such. If you're interested, come on by. We have an audition this weekend. I went to the audition. Didn't expect to get, because at the time I was a nobody. I was around other people that you know, going to high school, going to college. All these people with names well established on the island. Young popular people. I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna get this. Got the call back a week later. They said, you got the job. I said, how? How out of everyone else I got the job? They said, because you know why? You were the only one that was true to yourself. You didn't put on any extra fluff. You didn't do this and that and your yo-yos and whatever. You just remain yourself, and that's what we want. We want someone that the youth can, follow and be a good, positive role model. And 25 years later, I'm still here.
Still there.
Still here.
And from that process, from that time to right now, you were basically determined to succeed.
Yeah.
At it.
At it. I had no type of training, right. Nothing, and
And that's what the quote is.
Okay.
Right. So even though it didn't start off as your dream, once you got into it, you were determined.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the imagination, once you latch on to something that you like or you enjoy, that's what's going to happen. You start to focus, you start to be determined, you start to be persistent, and then once you commit, because we only achieve the things we commit to. Right. I have a story in my book about learning the 5 ways a person can increase their chances to succeed. And similar to you, I pick one of the 5 ways. And the way I pick was, you finish high school, you go out in the real world, and you learn to do as many things as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And between the one you love the most and the one you do the best, you put them together, make a business, work hard, and that's what I did. And here I am 40 years after.
Yeah, still doing the thing, man. Still looking good too, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
man. Thank you.
Doing the good work. So once again, check it out. Learning the Business of Life. You can find it online. It's on Amazon. You can find it also at the different bookstores and offices here on the island. So go and check it out. It's just $20.
Just $20.
And if you want the ebook, it's also available on Amazon.
The ebook is actually just $9.99.
That's
You
right.
download it and you have
it. Gramey Browne. That's right. Learning the business of life. And also, I believe in every chapter, after every chapter, you have a little a question or something that you ask.
There's 5 questions after every chapter, and the questions is designed. If you're a teenager, you ask a question to make your mind turn. It goes back to the imagination nation.
Yeah.
And you can see yourself where you are and say, okay, you know what? I want to be heading in this direction. Maybe I need to focus here a little more. If you're an adult and you have kids, you start thinking, you know what? If I had someone who can guide me from back then, maybe some of the things that happened, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Maybe I would have been inspired younger. But then it makes you now say, okay, I need to make sure I start tuning my kids, because I need to start, because this guy started so young, and look how he turned out. maybe if I start doing this to my kids, I increase their chances, because that's all we can do, right? There are no guarantees, but everything we do is to increase our chances to succeed and to achieve whatever we want to achieve.
So there you have it. Gramey Browne, once again, author, Learning the Business of Life. Make sure you check it out. Pick it up today, and yeah, take a read. All right. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir.
Good work. How was the feedback in station when you went back?
Oh wow, it was tremendous. I got to go back to my old school, the Golden Rock School.
Okay.
And I got to talk to every class.
Wow.
Every single class from 6th grade. So in 5th grade, I told the kids there about my story, discovering business in that class.
Yeah.
And I also told them about the trouble I got into also in 5th grade. Okay. So 5 is like a magical, it's one of those things. It's 5. Yeah, the 5 questions. I'm born the 5th of October. The 10th month divided in 2, it's still 5. Right. Exactly. And then I got to talk the 3rd graders. So I got the 4th grade, and in the 3rd grade, I get to tell the 3rd graders a story about me in 3rd grade. So when my mom came to pick up my report card in 3rd grade, the teacher told her I had great grades. I was a good student, but I talked a lot.
Yeah, most of us. Yeah. Easily distracted.
Yeah.
Has a lot of potential. Yes.
And my mom just took off a slipper, and she just gave me 4 whacks in front of everybody right there and then.
Not the magic 5?
No, 4. That's the only 4 in my life, And she said, when you get home, you're gonna get the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I told them that story, and they all laughed. And then I gave a little prize to the best behaved child. And then I got to speak to 2nd graders, even K1 and K2.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a project over there. It's like a yearbook, like a high school yearbook, but it's for K1, K2, and 1st grade and 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And it's basically a slimmed down version of a yearbook, which is basically, and it goes back to that imagination. So we're gonna document, the name, the date of birth, and the key is, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Right.
And imagine if they did that 40 years ago, well, 45 years ago, when I was back there. And then I go back there now, and they can take that book from the archive and say, let me see what little Gramey wanted to be. And in your case, see what you wanted to be.
True.
And I met 2 teachers there who always wanted to be teachers.
Okay.
Right? And that's great. So we need to start documenting and our own history. And then when we go back and look back, we can see, wait a minute. Yeah, you did become that thing that you wanted to be in 1st grade.
Nice. Learning the Business of Life. Gramey Browne, thank you for joining us today on the Super Duper Morning Show. It's a pleasure. Remember, the only limits in business and life are your imagination and determination to succeed. Before you leave, got to ask you one more question, which is a question of the day. So, Gramey, you just won 2 free tickets. All right. One is to see your favorite comedian. The other one is to see your favorite artist. But both of them are on the same day at the same time. Which one are you going to attend? The artist or the comedian?
Comedian, man.
Comedian?
I love to laugh.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. I love it. Keep up the great work, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right. It's Laser 101 Station with the attitude. Don't forget, you can get the book Learning the Business of Life. If you need more information, check out the website at GrameyBrowne.com. GrameyBrowne.com. We got the time.
At 9.
Coming up next.